Over the last few weeks, you've seen us here in the Whitsundays, aboard this vessel with this crew. And if you missed the video where we introduced them all, well, maybe watch that first. But basically, we were here with 3 other channels. Kristina's Travels.
It feels like I'm going through a birth canal when I get to this part. Ready?
Leading the Escapade. And Sailing Sunday.
I'm not flexing, I swear to God.
Throughout this trip, we tried our best to surprise the crew with some juicy questions.
Hey Ryan.
Yo, oh what?
Everything from kids.
Oh, kids question mark.
To Atlantic crossings, to buying your first boat in the Med. So let's get into these juicy answers.
No.
This all kicked off here in Manta Ray Bay.
What did you think of the Annapolis Boat Show?
It was really cool. It was wild. I felt really out of my comfort zone because I was surrounded by all these like epic sailors. I was like, what am I doing here? I felt like I was an imposter. I did.
Is it worth the hype?
Is it worth the hype? It was worth it. Yeah. But I had my second worst hangover there. So if you were there on the Sunday, I was really hungover.
Did you vom?
5 times. I thought I had to go to hospital. How bad was my hangover on the last day of the Annapolis, John?
It was pretty bad.
Was it scary sailing the Med without any sailing experience?
Definitely. we actually caught the storm 3 days in and we literally didn't know what to do. We had the sails completely up and we didn't know how to reef the sails.
Yeah, I started Googling. I'm like, what are you supposed to do sailing in a storm?
I guess it's good to throw yourself in the deep end sometimes, and it's the best way to learn, really.
It's the quickest way to learn, but it's definitely the scariest way to learn, for sure.
Do you have any tips for someone that's wanting to buy a boat in the Med that you wish you knew?
Maybe a little bit more experience.
A little bit more experience, and don't go over there at the start of the season, because they have like obviously a season over there. Go either before or after, because we went mid-season and there was like slim pickings. There was not much to pick from. So
end of season, you'll get yourself a bargain.
So like going in February or March or September, October, November, any of the time out of season.
Yeah.
What would you say to those wishing to cross the Atlantic?
Don't do it with a dog. No. Just do it. Just go for it. Yeah. I met a lot of people who broke a lot of things in their boats, and I think my advice would be, like in a serious sense, is really go through and check your boat and get everything sorted. So we just got our rigging done the year before, and I still got it checked, and I found one little thing wrong with it. Check your steering cables, that's a good one, and your autopilot. Get back up to your autopilot, and make sure you've got heaps of drinking water. Apart from that, just go for it. But yeah, no, we had no problems, no issues, nothing broken, but I went through everything with a fine-tooth comb.
Well, yes.
Kids?
Well, hello there.
Oh, kids.
Kids.
3, 2.
Un momento, por favor. Antes de hablar de niños, basically, before we go on to talk about Kristina and John's family plans, I just want to introduce this week's sponsor. While we're revealing juicy facts about one another, one thing you might not have known about me is I was an English teacher in Spain for a little under a year. So I have a fascination with language, and when Babbel reached out to us and said they wanted to sponsor one of our videos, it was the perfect timing after the amount of inspiration we've had for world travel being on this boat. Personally, I'm obsessed with Spanish.
Vamos en camión.
Vamos en camión. I love vamos, it's one of my favourite Spanish words. It's not just let's go, there's a bit more of a whip crack in there. Babbel is an interactive language app that enables you to learn a language wherever you may please, whether it be on the high seas or on the go or on the commute to work. It's a classroom in your pocket. These lessons are built by real language teachers and are scientifically proven to help you start speaking a new language in 3 weeks. And for any reason, if you're not enjoying it after 20 days, there is a complete money-back guarantee. On top of that, you, our viewers, can get 60% off your subscription using the link that Soap's going to put in the description below. Donde es mi gato? Ah, gracias, guapo. Anyway, guys, let's get back into the juicy stuff. Let's find out about those kids. Adios.
Kids.
3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Oh, kids question mark.
Kids question mark.
Dun dun dun.
Hang on, you got something in your tea.
Are we deferring the question?
No.
This is. That's a tough one. Think yes, it's more of a matter of when.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely.
It's a tough one. So much sailing to be done.
So little time.
We've been up here for weeks.
What's the hardest thing about sailing that you didn't expect?
For me, that's an easy one for me. Do you want to go first?
No, you go first because you've got an
For me,
answer.
it's just the fatigue, the general lack of sleep, like on anchor, and always traveling, always having like one eye open at night, worrying about the security and the safety of the boat and that sort of thing. What would you say?
Well, there's a few things. I think initially when I got on the boat, I thought the provisioning was really difficult to sort of understand. I don't think anyone really, like, usually when you're on land, you just go to the supermarket for that week or
It's
a few
like,
days.
I forgot the cheese or the milk or something.
You know, but when you're going out to sea for like 2 weeks plus, you know, I did never ever envision that we're going to spend hundreds of dollars on our supermarket grocery bills. So that was like a real eye-opener at the beginning. But I think as time went on, I was really surprised about how many things break on the boat. What's happened with our steering?
The sheaths are worn out.
What's the worst bad habit Jase has that is amplified in the small space of a boat?
Oh, definitely him being messy, for sure. Like, the boat like I clean the boat, you know, in the morning, and like an hour in, it's already like a storm, basically. That's definitely the worst thing. What else?
What else?
What else? I think it's about 5 things.
Hey Ryan,
Go.
the Mediterranean or the Caribbean?
Oh, that's a tough one because they're so different. The Med for more like land-based travel, I think. The Caribbean for sailing, hands down.
Hey, Kristina and John.
Hey,
Yeah.
How you
Hey.
going?
good. How are you going?
I'm frothing.
Working hard in the kitchen.
Oh,
Sushi's
yeah.
smelling good.
Yeah. We're just wondering, we know you've got a lot of really exciting stuff in the pipeline, and where do you two see yourself in the next 10 years?
Where do you guys see yourselves in 10 years' time?
Oh, wow.
Hopefully on Whitsunday's Freedom.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah, hopefully on a big catamaran.
We haven't really got that far ahead yet.
Living the dream.
Maybe we've circumnavigated like twice.
We're about 3 months out right now.
Hanging out with you guys somewhere, you know.
Well, that's officially the end of the Whitsunday Wonderland mini-series.
It was insane. Firstly, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know we've been in the Whitsundays before. For all of you that have followed along for that long, we have been there before, and so I hope it was still engaging and interesting. We really enjoyed hanging out with the guys that we were with. It was really epic to get to know them and build those little connections up. So yeah, we had a ball, and we hope you enjoyed that too. Obviously that's not what we're going to be doing always, because here we are back in Darwin, about to get into the gritty boat jobs that Nakama needs.
So the weird,
done.
wonderful and amazing, magnificent Nakama is just behind us here in the marina, and we have got to get well and truly stuck into a whole bunch of pressing jobs. So you may have remembered on the way here we snapped the steering. You may have remembered that you could pretty much put your fist through the sail. There was a lot of things we needed to pay some attention to. So we are well and truly back now, and we've got a little series of some really exciting upgrades actually, because every year we try and make Nakama just that little bit more our super yacht. And
The smallest super yacht in the world.
yeah, it's Australia's first 10-metre super yacht is what I always think of Nakama as. 1980 something, 34 feet worth of sick radness. We're killing it. Alright, so where are we once we get the boat sorted in this little circumnavigation of ours? Well, it's not a little thing, it's about like sailing around Europe, sailing around Australia. For those of you that are new to the channel, because I believe there's a few of you, we started this lap of Australia just north of Sydney. We were actually trying to go the other way initially, but due to COVID outbreaks and everything like that, we actually ran away from COVID lockdowns. Hence, we're going this way around Australia. So,
What way's this way?
well, left. Keep going forward and keep Australia to the left. So, first season took us from New South Wales. Sophie then broke her ankle.
It's a cheese sandwich.
And we settled in the Whitsundays, where we've just completed this beautiful trip on the catamaran, mind you, for a summer. Then last season, that's what took us up the most remote parts of the northern part of Australia, through the very outskirts of the Great Barrier Reef, into the Torres Strait Islands, across the Gulf of Carpentaria to the west, and into the Northern Territory. But this season will be our biggest of all, because what we've had to do for the last 2 years is pick a period of time. There's lots of four-wheel drives here in the Northern Territory. Anyway, sorry about the four-wheel drive. Yeah, we're going to be heading through the Kimberley, probably one of the most remote places on planet Earth, including like the Sahara Desert and Antarctica. I don't know, it's out there. And then down the west coast of Australia, and hopefully we don't have to stop. We might even be able to show you guys Tassie by the end of, well, it'll be ages away, don't worry about that. Anyway, we've got big plans, can't promise when they're going to happen.
It's exciting. I'm keen for us to build that momentum and keep going and try and get this lap done, because there's more exciting things waiting.
Yeah, anyway, we're keen to get back to showing you like our adventures on our boat. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little mini series, and I know some of you are like, what about Nakama? We're back on Nakama, we're going to show us some love, and we're going to get back to sailing our boat.
And also, everyone was like, are you going to get a catamaran? I'm like, one.
I can barely afford to eat, let alone catamaran. We're uni students.
I don't know if that like fits into our budgeting.
Yeah. A quick mention. We are, speaking of budgeting, a massive thank you to Babbel for sponsoring this week's episode. We are truly appreciative when we can actually team up with a company that we align our interests with. And we wanted to say something on the sponsorships. Our sponsors, along with our patrons, are the very reason these videos happen. So we are genuinely appreciative for the support. Thank you to our patrons, and thank you to the sponsors, because no one single revenue stream or anything like that is enough to cover our camera gear at this stage. This purely is a passion project for us, and the people that support it make it happen. Otherwise it would be a passion project that we couldn't afford to continue. So huge thank you. It's literally the patrons, and occasionally when we have someone come on and put their hand up to sponsor one of these videos, you make Slim and Soph Sailing Nakama happen, and we're really grateful for that. And we hope that as an audience you understand that it's a part of making these videos is paying for this camera I'm talking to now. That microphone on there is the 4th microphone in 6 months. And batteries and stuff like that. Yeah, cameras exist and they cost money. So thank you Babbel, thank you patrons. Thanks to everyone that likes and subscribes. These are all legends.
So we'll see you next week in the marina, aboard Nakama, sweating it out and swearing at things that are not going according to plan.
We'll get there in the end. Perseverance and persistence is key in boat ownership. And yeah, hey guys, by the way, the offer from Portland Roads still stand if you want a holiday on a boat that's not falling apart. See you next week. Thanks for the mini series. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, who cares, because we certainly did. And if you're new here, like and subscribe and follow us around Australia.
Bye.
Hey, tell us, what are you wearing?
Pajamas.
Next sponsor coming up right here.
Yeah, next sponsor, Woolly Sunscreen.
Get your Woolworths 50+ SPF.
I should probably hit them up. Hey,
Hey Janae, can I get a little giggle in front of the camera? It's for your headshot.
a giggle.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my fault.
That was a bad throw.
That was really bad. Sorry. Okay, I just feel like I needed to.
I feel like I need to go. I hate to say this. I've seen this on a stall, she looks okay. Go.
But the thing is, like,
Very good.
I think you guys could have gone right.
in the morning at like 9 AM when I saw you guys there, like double fisting 2 beers at the helm.
Whoa, where is this going?
Anyone got a flute easy for me? Champagne easy. Like Anthony Albin's easy. Living's easy when you're on a catamaran. You got to speak easy. I'll go into spoken word or poetic and nice.
Don't be sleazy.
Yeah, but you don't want to get bitten by the sea lice. Don't worry about the irukandji, worry about what you can do. It's me and you sitting on the rooftop like a character. I don't know.
It's pretty good though. I'm always surprised by you.
Irukandji, that was a hard one to like rhyme with.
Yeah, I know. Why did I throw that out? I said, irukandji, you're a kid. And then I was like, come on, brain, let's do it together. I was like, you got us into this mess, let's get it out of it. I don't know if we did, but yeah, we're not cooperating because we've got other things on our mind at this point.
One thing we've learned about Ryan is that when he's uncomfortable with answering a yes or no question, he goes, yeah, yeah, and like, he's like always like, good joke. But it's just like, literally, yeah.
Have you been told you're a yes man before?
Yes, man. Yeah, yeah.
So that's it, that's exactly it.
Good on the foot, eh?
Yeah, good on the foot.
Yeah, we're just gonna pull out.
I'm always doing stupid and then I'm like, why did I do that? Wrecking everyone's camera gear.